Hey guys, this is Steve 1989 from MREinfo.com here, and we're going to be opening up a case of Food Packet Survival Abandoned Ship. Now this case is a little bit different than our first video where we opened up the Food Packet Survival Abandoned Ship from October 1992. The big difference is there's one less food packet, but replaced with a cigarette packet containing 40 cigarettes. And you can see there the allowance was one food packet and 2 cigs for a guy out in a raft per day, so that's a little bit nicer if you ask me than, just living off some charms. Now, what we got here are some pictures of the ration. Let's get a good look at this. You get 2 packs of Lucky Strikes, 2 jelly bars, a small pack of chiclets, some matches, and of course 4 mint tablets. That right there I think is a better variation than 3 packs of charms and some spearmint gum. I feel it's a much more appropriate morale boost for guys being out in open waters. Let's just say there was some sort of bailout situation out at sea nowadays in modern day rations. What if you're a cigarette smoker? I mean, you might be out there for days, and granted, more people back in the day used to smoke, but there are still cigarette smokers out there, and what do? So this was, I feel, a little bit more efficient of a ration than what we have today. I really feel like there was a downgrade. This is a better ration, at least according to what these photos show. I'm not even sure if this box here has the exact same stuff as what these Natick Food Lab stock photos of a Food Packet Survival Abandoned Ship, which I believe this one here was from 1966. But I can't imagine the contents changing all that much. So, without having to wait much longer here, let's get a good look at this case before we open it up. There's the specifications of the box itself. Here's an important part, and it says the exact same thing as the previous case. Each food packet in this carton contains food especially designed to maintain physical and mental abilities under survival conditions. It is not thirst-provoking and can be eaten in the absence of water. Use sparingly and eat only when you feel the greatest need. Okay, and it's the same industrial duct tape as the last case. Not much in the way of changes of the design itself, only the contents. So let's dig in. But before we do, let's find out what this thing weighs. Let's see here. 4.2 pounds for the case. Got Old Faithful here. Alright. Now, let's try and open this in the cleanest way possible. When you're opening up rare rations, your best bet is to try not to just tear the thing open. If you have to, it's okay. But if you can be patient and make slits or cuts with a knife, you're better off. All right. Now it looks like one bursted open in the box. Not exactly sure what happened here. Actually, this is not a complete ration. What a shame. Looks like somebody opened this up and replaced parts of it, and I'm going to assume they removed the cigarette packet. That is oh, look at that. The cigarettes are still there. You can see, it's hard to make out, cigarettes. And somebody opened this. And let's see if they are Lucky Strikes or, Salem's and Pall Malls, eh? Okay, that could be worse. I was afraid here that this wasn't going to be original at all. But somebody opened this and then resealed it. And these charms are from the 90s. I can tell because they're from Covington, Indiana, and not from Bloomfield, New Jersey. So somebody actually opened this up and methodically resealed it. And actually opened parts of it. This is the kind of notorious stuff that collectors will do. And you gotta be careful. Even resealed rations can be unoriginal. Look what happened in here. They took one of the packets and replaced it with a 1990s Food Packet Survival Abandoned Ship, and they left one open here. Look at this, and this thing's in pretty bad shape. Okay, like, we already know what's in this, but again, and it's sticky here. This is just wonderful. It almost looked like it'd been resealed, but a very professionally done, keen job with it. We're going to still investigate Salem's, and it doesn't have a tax stamp on it. So this is a pack of military cigarettes. If they don't have it, it's a tax exempt pack of cigarettes. This one as well. There is no tax stamp on it. And we're going to try out one of the Pall Malls. I'm a fan of Pall Malls. I've had some C-ration Pall Malls that were perfect. Now this is a nice looking packet. And these are different from other ones that I've had. I've never seen one quite like this. And also, I see here that they're not mint tablets like in that picture. These look like, and pretty liquefied. This is pretty gross, this one here. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to clean this spot up, and we're going to, as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 packets. So somebody took out 3 packets, thankfully left the cigarette packets. So that is interesting. An opened pack of these. Somebody was like, hey, what's this? Ripped it open and put it back in. So whoever bought this was curious, opened it up, removed 3 of them, ripped open the cigarette packet, and decided, thankfully, to keep that in there. I've bought a box of one of these for $125 last year, and it only had 12 also. And in that case, that was the first edition of Food Packet Survival Abandoned Ship, and I took photos of it. It is on MREinfo.com, and the case is now in an extremely safe collection. But this here, I had to document and get it out on video here to share. I am going to clean these up. Going to have to wipe each one down. There's melted, sugary, syrupy mess on it. That's like super sticky. It's just, you know, that is going to be something I do very soon. These are a little bit rough. You can see like there's even actual rust right there, or some sort of corrosion of sorts in these metallic packs. And it feels soft, like it's been degrading. And these were not stored in absolute conditions. Probably was stored in 80 degrees or something for years. Kind of a shame, but it sure beats not having one at all and not being able to share it with you guys. This was the cigarettes. One more look at that. And I'm going to replace the Salem's back in there. What a shame. I was really looking forward to enjoying a 42-year-old packet of Lucky Strikes, but instead we are going to go with a Pall Mall, and then we're gonna check out the one that was opened already, shamelessly opened and replaced back in, ripped open like jelly bars. And these are just like Chuckles. You can buy Chuckles nowadays. These things are a mess. These here look just like citric lipid tablets out of a Life Draft tablet ration from the early 50s Korean War era. Now what is that? It is essentially like a vegetable oil and sugar and vitamin C. At least that's what I'm assuming when you see lipid as in fats and citric as in citric acid as in vitamin C. Now, some classic C-ration looking era striker on the front instead of the back matches. Now we're going to be using those to light up one of these cigarettes in a little bit here. What I'm feeling is this feels compromised, and I'm probably going to get a pack that's in better shape. Let's get a decent pack. The stuff people will do with the older rations is amazing. They'll professionally open this stuff up. They'll extract out expensive parts of the ration. I'm amazed there were cigarettes in this, considering somebody tampered with it and took out 3 of the food packets. I am simply amazed that they left those Pall Malls and Salem's in there. Now I'm just gonna open this right from the top, and you can see this stuff's like melted and nasty. It looks like it's in worse shape than these ones here. And oh yeah, you can smell mint and what smells like those spoiled tablets. And if I'm even going to test out one of these jelly bars, I'm gonna have to wipe it down. Look at the matches are a real mess in this one. Yeah, and you see what doesn't hold up? What does it all in? Check that out. Completely liquefied. What a shame. And the chiclets, which are really starting to touch this stuff now and get... Oh, yeah. Look at, oh, gosh. They're just so sticky and... Gosh, what am I going to do? I'm going to go wash my hands real quick right after I lay these out. Get a look in there. Look at that. Liquefied. Disgusting. I'm throwing this packet out in the whole thing here. Just absolutely past its prime. Now I would say that these probably have a shorter shelf life than the ones from 1982, but the ones in that stock photo with the mint tablets, those would hold up. Those mint tablets would not liquefy like that. I'm gonna wipe these down. We're gonna test one of these out. Alright, now let's try out a jelly bar. Gundogs tried one of these out in a Survival Tropic 4 that I shipped them months back. And I'm really sorry that thing didn't work out better for you. I've actually had a Survival Tropic that was in the same apparent condition on the outer container. Little splotches of rust, nothing too serious. And the thing was fine, and the jelly bars were great. These normally hold up real well. And let's see if these have held up. I believe they have. They haven't changed color in any sort of way. I noticed the ones I gave Gundog seemed a little bit darker than the ones that I had. And I think they, over time, the colors sort of turn brown, melt together, and they start to lose a little color. And this one seems to have kept it a little more. It smells kind of weird. Like the chiclets have just gotten to the smell. It seems like anything with the gum, if it's inside the same container. Same thing applies for older accessory packets in sea rations. If you open one up, the first thing you're going to smell is the gum. Alright, now let's try out what I would assume is lemon flavored. Let's see here. That's not very good. Yeah, it's just... Yeah. It's just the spearmint has plagued the flavor. Yeah. I don't know. I ate some of that too. Not like it's gonna hurt me. It won't hurt you. It just doesn't taste good. Let's try out this one next. See if it's any better. Yeah, it is. That's not bad. The orange maintained that artificial orange flavor a little better than lemon. Lemon just tasted like half artificial lemon, half spearmint. Two flavors that do not mix. Careful guys, if you eat something like this will pull a filling out. It's getting stuck in my teeth. I don't even know why I went for a second bite on that. That was weird. Well, wasn't too bad. Well, let's try out the green one. Lime. I have a feeling this is going to be the worst. Actually, no, that lemon was the worst. This is second worst, though. That orange wasn't so bad. Oh my gosh. It doesn't matter with me eating 42-year-old jelly bars. I don't know. I could do worse. I'm about to smoke a cigarette. After. Gotta sip some water first. Good God. Pall Mall. Wherever particular people congregate. And look, tax exempt for use of the U.S., not to be sold. That's an expensive pack of cigarettes. I can assure you if you put this on eBay, you could literally get between $40 to $60 for this, and no less than $30. So, let's have some expensive cigarettes. You know, might as well. I'd rather smoke this than a lot of the cigarettes from modern times. There you go. And these smell fantastic. I mean, if anything held up, it was this. I'm gonna enjoy these. I'm gonna put the packet in my collection. It's gonna be a great display piece in a shadow box. And these are nice, unfiltered Pall Malls. That's the way to go. I wouldn't want a filtered cigarette if I was out at sea and only having 2 a day. You want to get your money's worth. Alright. Let's enjoy an old Pall Mall. Not bad. Not as bad as I would expect from being in a container like that. Not as good as the Lucky Strike that I had from that 1970 Meal Combat Individual, which, by the way, that was one of the better cigarettes I've had from an old ration. I mean, it was just perfect. The best cigarette I've ever had from a ration was from a food packet of salt from 1949. It was a Camel. I'd walk a mile for that Camel. These I'm going to take. You see, that's the problem with unfiltered cigarettes. You get the little tobacco bits. But this is the way I used to enjoy them. It's smooth. Considerably smooth. I mean, cigarettes nowadays have a real bite to them. They will make me cough and gag. I cannot, and that's a filtered cigarette we're talking here that's 2 months old opposed to a 42-and-a-half-year-old cigarette. So it's really not bad. I mean, like, yeah, you know, the filter, it's gonna kind of break. It's gonna, no filter, I mean, excuse me. It's gonna break a little bit. You got a little tear. But there's a guy named Dirtbag on MRE Info. He told me that he was in a life raft and it had one of these cigarette packets in it. And it was, and I'm guessing this was in the 60s. So it was most likely food pack survival abandoned ship. I talked to a guy on there. He said burned like a fuse from a cartoon. So it was just disgusting and dry. Whatever happened with the conditions of his cigarette didn't hold up, and that was when they were made. So who knows what happened there, but it's not bad at all. I find this actually incredibly enjoyable. Plus, I don't get a cigarette very often anymore unless it's coming from a ration, so I'm really going to enjoy it. Yeah. It's not giving me that buzz of nicotine like the Lucky Strike did. That was a very strong cigarette. Some very fine tobacco. Now this thing is just falling. Look at this thing. I mean, I don't know. I've been noticing this is what happens with a lot of older cigarettes. And that's about all I'm going to do with this cigarette. Once it gets to that point and it's not burning evenly anymore and I'm getting more tobacco in my mouth than I'd really care to enjoy or stand, I think we're going to go back to the main part of the presentation. After enjoying that cigarette, I wouldn't mind trying out some of these spearmint chiclets. And let's see if this thing even held up. It looks fine. So far, so good. Oh yeah. Oh, that's perfect. These chiclets have no food coloring, and they taste better than the ones made today. That's refreshing. Especially after having a cigarette, have a piece of gum, lay down in that raft, it's evening, try and relax, try and keep your wits about you out there, conserve your food packet, eat those jelly bars slow, enjoy one of those sucrose tablets, one every maybe 4 to 6 hours, and in between, I guess your lunch and then your dinner would be a pack of jelly bars. And then when things get really stressful, ask your commanding officer, or whoever it is, most likely that would be dispersing those Pall Malls and Salems for a smoke. I would be asking for a Pall Mall myself. Anyways, hope you guys have a great day or night, whichever's the case. Alright, cool. See ya.